So in our previous session, we have already talked about some basic things about relations and functions and seen some special types of relations. In today's video, we are going to talk about a special type of relation called the reflexive relation. So let's just go ahead and see what is the basic definition. So before you move on, I'm going to give you a very simple example. I have considered a set capital A having three elements small a, small b, and small c, and a relation capital R on that set. Now, the basic thing we all do is to draw an arrow diagram. So if you look at the arrow diagram here, this is something how we represent a relation. Now, look at these arrows. These are very important. If you look at the pairs we have here, and we can write these relationships. So what we are going to notice here is basically each and every element is related to itself via R. So this is the basic criteria for a relationship which is reflexive. Mathematically speaking, we can write that A is related to A for all A in capital A. So basically, if you consider a relation that is reflexive, we have to see whether each and every element is related to itself or not. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you a very simple example on the basis of which you can understand this better. So this is a set A, P, Q, R. These are the elements, and this is a relation. What you need to do is for each and every element in A, you have to check whether we have all the possible pairs that we need for a reflexive relation or not. Now look at this one. For P comma P, obviously we have the presence. For Q, we have Q comma Q, and finally for R, we have R comma R. So these are the things we definitely have here. Apart from that, we have some extra pairs here, which is perfectly okay, but these are the things we have. So this is a reflexive relation. Now the question is, sometimes when you look at the definition, it sounds pretty similar to what we have done for an identity relation. So students sometimes get confused about the difference between an identity relation and a reflexive relation. I'm definitely going to answer this query, but before that, let me show you something very interesting. In this particular slide, I'm going to talk to you about the matrix representation of a relation. Now here you can clearly see the ordered pair. Based on the presence of this ordered pair, I'm going to form a matrix. Clearly it's a 3 cross 3 matrix here because the original set had 3 elements. I'm going to fill up the entries on the basis of the presence of each and every order pair. So for example, if P comma P is present, I'm going to write this as 1. Otherwise, I'm going to write it as 0. Now, there's a very interesting thing that you people can notice here. If you look at the diagonal elements, all of them should be 1. Now, the diagonal elements are of the form A comma A, and by definition, they should definitely be present in the relation. So this is something that you people can definitely see for a reflexive relation. If you are having a particular roster form, it's a very interesting observation. But for the off-diagonal elements, we don't have such restriction. Just check whether we have the diagonal elements or not. Now, I'm going to show you some simple example of roster form to see whether a particular relation is reflexive or not. I've taken a very simple set A here having 3 elements x1, x2, x3, and I'm going to show you whether a particular relation on A is reflexive or not. So let's take the first example. We notice that x2, x2 is missing. Also x3, x3 is missing. So this is not reflexive. Now the point is, you don't need to take care of all the elements here. Even if one of them is missing, that's it. For the next one, we have all the necessary pairs. So this is reflexive. For the third one, we notice that x2 comma x2 is missing. So definitely there's one element which is not related to itself. So it's not reflexive. And finally, let me show you another example. Here we have all the necessary elements that we need for a reflexive relation. So this is reflexive. Now I actually want you people to see the example number 2 and 4. The number 2 example is basically the identity relation on A. Okay, it just has the ordered pairs of the form A comma A, whereas the fourth example is more of like a generalized version of a reflexive relation. So in general, if you just consider the identity relation, that will always be a subset of any reflexive relation on that set. So this is the basic thing you can notice here. For a reflexive relation, we can have some added pairs, but for identity relation, that is the bare minimum thing you should have. Now, as we understand about examples and basic definitions, it's not only enough to just think about examples in roster form, because we know from our idea of set theory that on most of the occasions, it's not possible for us to manually write everything down in the roster form. So let's just go ahead and see some general example of the set builder form. So let us consider a relation capital R on the set of all integers Z. And how is this defined? Two integers A and B are related if and only if A minus B is divisible by 5. So let's check whether it's reflexive or not. So there's a very general approach for these kind of sums. What you are going to do is from the original set, you take any element. Now it should be related to itself. So I'm taking the same element again. Now you exploit the definition of the relation. I'm going to compute their difference, which is A minus A, that is 0. And now check whether it's divisible by 5 or not. So it's perfectly okay. Now, if you just exploit the definition of the relation again, you see that A is related to itself. And similarly, by the definition of reflexive relation, we can say that this is reflexive. So this is a general approach you have. So I'm going to show you another example so that you have a very clear idea of what's going on. We consider the set of all the possible lines L in a plane. So two lines are related. Suppose L1 and L2, they're related provided L1 is parallel to L2. Now you take any line, you take the same line again. So you know what is the basic criteria for the relation here is parallel. Okay. So if you take any line, it's obviously parallel to itself. So it's reflexive again. So I hope at the end of this video, you people understand the basic definition of a reflexive relation and an interesting thing that we have done here, matrix representation, and also some of the examples we have done in roster form and set builder form. So go ahead and practice all these things. In our next video, I'm going to talk to you about another special type of relation called the symmetric relation. So stay tuned.